Okay, this video is just about how to set up a studio, which is a place for you and your students to share projects so you can sort of keep all of your students' work together. In Scratch, you can create a studio, which is basically just a folder where projects get put in. You can add projects yourself, although the much easier way to do this is to make your students curators of that studio, which means they can add their own projects. So up here in the top right hand corner, there's always going to be a folder when you're logged in, and this is going to be how you get to all of the things you've created. If we click on that folder, you'll be able to see all of your different projects that you've created, and you can also in the top right hand corner hit New Studio. Once you've clicked on New Studio, you can add a logo or image to that studio, and you can also title that studio. And we're done. We've made a studio. That's all there is to it. Now, as I said, you can add projects, but the much easier way to do this is to make your students curators. In order to do this, your students need to be following you. Just like on any social media website, you can follow different people on Scratch. And when you do that, that gives you access to some of the things that they've been working on. My name is Mr. York on Scratch, so I'm going to do a search for Mr. York. And you'll see that the first result is me. As a student, when we click on my profile, there's going to be a button in the top right hand corner that says follow. Your students need to follow you so that they can see what you've been working on and so that you can add them as curators of the studio. Now, once I've done that, I'm going to go back to my studio here. I'm going to click on My Studios, and there's the studio we just created. And I'm going to click on the Curators tab. Now you can see right now the only curator is myself, but I can invite curators. I can type in students' names individually here, but that's time consuming when you have large classes, and it's much easier to go to Scratchers following me. All of your students, these are some of my students, all of your students that are following you, you can click on and add them as a curator to this new studio. Let me show you what a studio that already has students added to it looks like. This is a studio that I made in the spring of 2014. It's for a intercession club that I did with students where we made computer games. So you can see this has 16 curators. These are the students that were in that class. I can also see all of the projects that they added. This gives me a great way to grade projects. It gives me a great way to see what my students are working on, and probably most importantly, gives other students a great way to see and explore what their classmates have been doing. That's all there is to making a studio. I encourage you to do it with your students. Thank you.